What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, we're here with
Gershwin.
I say we because we're all in this together.
We're all in this together, kicking and screaming and sadness and woke.
Is that... I was going to say Big Time Rush, but no, that's High School Musical, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I never saw any of those.
That's because we were in high school when they came out. High School Musical was for middle school kids.
We should have been watching College School Musical.
Degrassi.
Oh, there you go.
Drake. Wheelchair Jimmy.
And welcome to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, just comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And that is what Iraq 9 has done. What was the Emperor's greatest mistake?
Ooh, that's a big one. Because the Emperor has no mistakes. He is the blessed, the one, the only, our true God and Savior.
Yep.
He has no mistakes. Except for not telling Magnus about the whole plan, the Golden Throne. Not telling not just Magnus, but all his kids about what the overall plan was. Talking with Chaos, letting his sons get spread across the galaxy. Not being real with everybody, including you and me. I think that's his biggest mistake. He wasn't truthful. He hid a lot of things. He was just too secretive. Maybe he was just shy and trying to get over, the social anxiety. But if you're the Emperor of mankind, you can't. You got to put yourself out there, lead with your best foot forward. And the Emperor tried. And just like all humanity, he is flawed because he is a human.
Yeah, especially because he could take the form of whatever he wants. He should have just taken the form of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and then just lived life like he does.
Yeah.
Like he is a bulldozer of a man that just destroys things. A boulder, if you will.
Right. The only thing stronger than The Rock is his wife.
That's it. That's it? Okay. Yeah. For me, the biggest mistake that the Emperor caused or did is not killing Horus right away.
Right.
Like, I feel like that whole concept of like, his shields came down. Like, as soon as the shields came down, or not even before the shields came down, the Emperor should have been like, all right, this guy's rebelling against me. Let's go mess him up.
Right.
And the concept that like, oh no, he's my favorite son. That's so lame.
You say that now. Wait till you have kids.
Yeah. I mean, they're not even his kids.
Exactly. They are and they aren't. He saw them as tools towards an end goal.
Okay, so let's say, think of somebody who's like one of your best friends.
All right.
He does something that betrays you. Would you hold back from eradicating his soul from all existence?
Or would you just go in sword blazing?
Or give him like a fighting chance? I wouldn't give him a fighting chance, especially if the anger is there.
Well, it depends on how soon it happened. Because, I mean, the heresy happened, and then, like, years went by until finally it coalesced to that.
Well, because it took so long for Horus to, like, actually make it to Terra.
Exactly.
And in the meantime, like, everything that the Emperor built was being destroyed all around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like he should have killed Horus right away.
Right. It's like, you took half of my sons away from me. You've killed Sanguinius. You've done so much problems. And, I would have just smote him.
Yeah.
The ends should justify the means.
In that situation, yeah. Because they made it all the way to Terra.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the death, the destruction that happened.
Right.
All for what? No, he's my favorite son. Don't touch him.
And it's funny because, like, even at the end when the Emperor was about to kill him, on that very last second, Chaos was like, shoot, we out.
Yeah.
And then he actually killed his son, who had regret in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
It happens.
Right. The Emperor is flawed. Call us heretics, but that's the truth.
It is.
And speaking of heretics, McLovin has said something so heretical that I shudder just to say it.
Shudder.
Is the Emperor full of shit? And should we all be praying to Gork and Mork?
Definitely not Gork and Mork. Like, Gork and Mork might not even exist.
Right.
It's WAAAGH energy that kind of coalesces through, like, think of it like how, what is it called? Grasshoppers turn into locusts? Or what is it?
What?
What turns into what? It's like something becomes locust.
Locust becomes locust. Grubs.
No.
Larva.
No, but like they go through a metamorphosis of like just getting huge and big. But anyways, that is what I feel like empowers the WAAAGH energy. It's just a collective.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to worship something, I think you should worship a chaos god.
Because you actually get stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you can get too much out of it and you become a spawn.
Yeah.
Not like Seth MacFarlane. Is it Seth MacFarlane? No. Todd McFarlane's a spawn.
Oh, yeah.
Not that one. That one's badass. It's like a little like meatball of like too much.
Too much.
Too much spikes, too much teeth.
And if you think about it, like, is the Emperor full of shit? I think he was just trying the best that he could with, like, his human psyker brain. Like, he was still, like, one of the most powerful humans, but he's still a human.
But then people are going to be like, he's not a human. Wouldn't that mean that all humans are, like, made out of shamans and we have to eat shamans to stay alive?
We might be. You don't really know what you did in your mom's womb. You might have eaten all your other, like, brothers and sisters that made it into the egg.
So we're all shark shamans.
Yeah, we've all seen those videos of, like, my twin brother was in my stomach for 23 years. I thought it was a hemorrhoid. Or what is it called? Yeah, hemorrhoid, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's bringing me flashbacks of American Horror Story. Speaking of which, it's almost spook time, meaning creepypastas are coming your way. Hollow Week will be coming your way. Scary themed 40K stuff, so stay subscribed for that.
Oh, yeah. And then Halloween Town, rewatch that.
Oh, yeah.
Next question comes from the big one. Could the Space Marines win a guerrilla war insurgency against the ragtag army like the Taliban?
Yes.
The Taliban kind of defeated how many armies, or Afghanistan, just in general, has pushed back how many conquerors?
Right, for how many years?
I think Space Marines, if depending on what they want to accomplish, it would be hard for them.
Nah, I mean, think about it. What are AK-47s and rocket launchers going to do to freaking power armor? Nothing.
Well, I think, like, the whole point is that, like, because it's kind of like the Alpharius Omegon type of mentality, or the Alpha Legion type of mentality, where, like,
yeah, you could kill all of them, but it's like more will come out.
Yeah, that, and, like, they're just not going to fight you. Or they'll fight you, but not really. Like, that's the whole point of guerrilla warfare. It's not
hit
to succeed.
and run tactics, yeah.
Yeah, it's just to watch the enemy bleed. So it's one of those situations of, like, I think the Space Marines eventually would just be like, yeah, let's just nuke this place. Then is that really a victory? I mean, I guess. But you killed the entire Earth.
Right.
With your torpedo. What is it called? The
cyclone torpedoes?
Yeah. Or virus bombs. Why? Just because you wanted to kill the Taliban?
Right, yeah, it's not worth it.
It's difficult.
It is. This next one is by Roboot Gilliman himself. Highway. He says, my favorite quotes: fear the alien, hate the alien, kill the alien. That's already enough for me. Next question.
This one comes from Deathbringer. How do I spell Gursh1 properly? It's Gursh space ONE properly. Next one.
This one is by Slack Jr. Would CW make a god emperor equal in strength to one of the chaos gods, making home a part of the wheel, or as strong as 4 put together?
Who's CW again?
Talking about the television channel.
CW Frog.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh,
hello, my baby. I wonder if people even know what the CW Frog is. Like, I feel like that was such a long time ago.
He's a frog.
Right, but like...
Oh, I think our viewers are older than we are.
So you guys know what the CW Frog is?
Yeah. Based on the YouTube analytics, it says that you guys are between the ages of 25 and 35. Sound off in the comment section below. So... yeah, we all grew up with the CW Frog and the commercials.
Now that I think about it, what was on CW that we watched?
A lot of like not Looney Tunes, Maniac reruns.
Really? I thought that was like Fox or like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network.
No, Cartoon Network was just their Cartoon Network shows. Nickelodeon was
I feel like the Tiny Toons and stuff like that was like
that might have been no, Tiny Toons. Damn, now you got me thinking. Because Tiny Toons are like Looney Tunes in the line Looney Tunes. But no, so the Animaniacs were part of the Looney Tune universe, weren't they?
Right. Yeah. Because they appeared in Space Jam.
Yeah, so they would be part of the CW. But I think Biker Mice from Mars was on the CW. Street Sharks.
I know Arthur wasn't.
No, that
was Channel 11.
Which was PBS.
There you go.
Public Broadcast Station.
Something like that.
I think some of like the best documentaries that you're ever gonna watch are on PBS. About PBS. It's crazy. Like to think like how influential that channel was on everybody's like life, or at least Americans. It's crazy.
Yeah. But to answer your question, could the Emperor become a god and have equal strength to one god or as strong as 4 put together? I don't think he's going to be as strong as 4 Chaos Gods put together because that's just too much. But then you'll say, well, won't all 4 of them just gang up on him? No, because Chaos is a wheel. If 2 Chaos Gods attack the Emperor, who is now a 5th Chaos God, that's going to leave their planes of existence in the warp free for the other 2 gods that aren't attacking the warp to attack them and gain power. And it's just going to keep on turning, and eventually that's how it is. They're always going to fight. Power's always going to shift. No one's going to die, and it's going to be like that forever.
Yes.
That's my take.
No, yeah, you're right.
Or the Emperor won't become a god. We're just arguing for argument's sake.
Which, yeah, that's what we are. That's what this channel's about. This question comes from Isaac Langdon. Why was Angron's Legion so aggressive in nature even before meeting him? Angron was originally designed to be a support role, so shouldn't his Legion reflect him? Good question. Yeah. It's his gene seed.
Yeah. He was prone to anger. Before they were called the World Eaters, I think they were called the War Hounds.
Yes.
Or War Dogs, something like that. So yeah, they were kind of meant to be like that shock assault type thing. Attack hard, hit them where it hurts. And that just got magnified 1,000 times because of the Butcher's Nails and then because of Khorne.
Yep. It's like, it's all part of Primarch, his Primarch in like role. Each one of the Primarchs was supposed to be a certain aspect of the Emperor's combat doctrine, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Mentality. Next one.
Bunny Hop says, between a battle of the Grots and the Snotlings, who would come out on top?
Grots and Snotlings are the same.
I thought one was bigger.
Gretchen are. If it's Gretchen and Snotlings, then Gretchens win. Gretchens eat Snotlings.
But let's say you have all of them, all the Grots, all the Snotlings, or all the Gretchen, all the Snotlings. But aren't the Snotlings smarter, though? Like, that's how they make up for them being weaker?
No, the smartest Orkoid is Gretchens, and then Snotlings are kind of like, think of like little children. They get pushed around, bossed around, and eaten. And they're really just meant for cultivating squigs. Squigs eat them. So they're just like an excuse for fingers. Because squigs don't have fingers, they have claws. Well, then again, so do Snotlings. I thought a Snotling ran across the thing right now.
Dang, if I saw a Snotling, I think it's a duende, and I think I'd end it right there.
Yep.
Duendes are scary, especially if you're into Mexican culture, and what are they called? Cryptids?
Kryptonites? Crypto...
Zoology?
Zoology? Yeah.
This one is by Angel Warrior 28. If the Age of Strife never happened, what do you think the state of mankind and the 40K universe as a whole would be? And do you think that mankind wouldn't be xenophobic and more united against the evils of the 40K universe? I think there's always going to be xenophobia. Probably not to the extent of what it currently is. But I think as humans, you try to fear and fight things you don't understand because of that fear of you not knowing if they're going to be hostile towards you. So xenophobia, I think, will always be there. But yeah, I don't think they'll be as xenophobic. Maybe they'll be more willing to like ally with Eldar, with the Tau, to fight off like the Tyranids and the Necrons and stuff like that.
Also, I think that in the lore, the earliest encounters with Xenos were with the Orcs. Orcs are aggressive. They're going to kill you. So, like, it's that whole thing of, like, the first impression. The first impression humanity had of Xenos is bad.
Yes.
And it's going to continue and persist because Orcs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Name one good Xenos other than the Tau, which came later. It doesn't exist. Even within...
The Jokeros.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But, like, Jokeros aren't even that... like, they didn't have an empire. They just existed on their planet.
They're just chilling.
Next question. Oh, this question comes from Damned Legion. Where do Gork and Mork exist? Do they only come into existence where the Orc WAAAGH and their Psychers summon them? Yeah, I don't think they do exist. I think that's just part of the collective, like, mind.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah, think of, like, they're basically, like...
Our gods.
Yeah. Well, no, because our gods don't really give us anything. They're like Wi-Fi, and and the Orcs are hotspots.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess the Orcs themselves created, right?
Yeah, I think so. Zero Noctis. I'm making a Slaanesh army based on Doge Van Dyer and the Brides of the Emperor. It's essentially a Sisters army that will be painted and decorated demonically, and Doge Van Dyer is an Inquisitor Karmasov with a modified Doge instead. Should I run it as Sisters or as Demons? And will this determine how I design and paint it? But the army will be Chaos Allied Renegades.
That's good.
Yeah, I like how it's supposed to be Doge Van Dyer, but it's Doge.
Doge Van Dyer.
Yeah, I would say play it as both. Like, get the best of both worlds. Because if you're using models from both Demons and models from the Sisters of Battle, yeah, just kind of make sure you talk to whoever you're playing first and say, hey, this is a Sisters of Battle army, but I'm playing as like Chaos Renegades. So they're actually Chaos Space Marines, these are cultists and whatnot. So that way you don't get bored of playing the same army over and over again. There's more different tactics and stuff, and it'll always be fresh. Because especially if you have a small play group and you just have like this one army and you're always playing against that same army, eventually you'll kind of get tired of it. But by playing it as a different army, then you have more longevity to it.
Yeah. One thing that I've found that's difficult when doing that, because right now I'm doing the Skitarii Goivesa army, is that I figured, I could play these as Fire Warriors and I can play them as Skitarii Rangers. But the numbers don't really match up. So I have like a bunch of Skitarii, or I have those minis that are supposed to be Goivesa and they fit within the Tau Codex. But once I move them over to the Skitarii Codex, the guns don't really match up. So like I can give them 3 specialist guns, whereas with the Fire Warriors, they get drones.
Yeah, they get drones.
So it's different. So I found that was very difficult. And that's just for the troop choices. Then you get into the heavy support, then you get into the elites, and it's just like, it's very difficult.
But then you kind of have to think outside the box and then reward yourself. Like, how would a drone be incorporated into the Skitarii but also make sense in this army?
Right, yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Oh, if you could put my